We are following breaking news this morning in Gresham, where a crash has closed a stretch of Northeast Sandy Boulevard.
Our Ashley Graham joins us live from the scene with the update. Ashley.
Drew, in China, Gresham police are now calling this a fatal crash here at 181st and Sandy. From where we're standing here, we can actually still see one of those cars in the intersection. This car pretty badly damaged, but still a lot of questions. We don't know if anyone else was injured or if any other vehicles were involved. Now, this is a pretty busy intersection at this time in the morning. You can see those flares on the ground. It's unclear how long these officers will be here on scene. We've seen both Gresham police and Multnomah County as well, but I did just see an officer reigniting some of those flares, so we can expect Sandy Boulevard to be closed from 181st all the way to 185th here for the time being. Now, there is some impact here to 181st as well, where you can see that they're down to one lane now, and you need to wait for those officers to wave you through this intersection. Again, Gresham police now calling this a fatal crash here at 181st and Sandy. We're waiting to learn more information this morning. Drew, China. Actually, we're going to toss right now to Chris here with some more traffic.
Ashley, thank you for that. And your traffic solution to get around that at this point would probably be in Interstate 84. Let's get back to the highway drive right now. We do have one situation just west of Molalla, a crash now popping up on Highway 211. The road is still open, but just be on the lookout for the response there. Quick check of the west side. That's 217 at 99W, and a reminder that 217 auxiliary lanes project is in full swing, and for the next 9 nights there will be continuing overnight directional closures. Tonight and tomorrow night, those will be southbound lane closures between 99W and Greenberg Road. Rod?
Well, our live cameras this morning, good morning, showing that we should be starting our day with a mostly sunny sky once the sun pops up. You can see the early morning blue looking off to the east, of course, from the Wells Fargo Tower. 64 degrees, no fog, everybody's dry, a nice start to our day weather-wise. Sun pops up at 6:59, 77 degrees out there at noon, and the big story is the high temperature today, and I do believe we will make it to 90 later on. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Rod. Let's get back to our news headlines here at 6. The state says more than 1,200 people were mistakenly registered to vote in Oregon, and records show that 9 of them have actually cast a ballot before.
Both the Secretary of State's office and the DMV say that they regret what they're calling a, quote, data processing error. They say this could happen a number of ways. For example, a staffer at the DMV selects the wrong item from a drop-down menu when someone's getting an ID, listing the document presented to them as a U.S. passport instead of a foreign one. From there, the person would be automatically registered to vote. But some lawmakers are demanding a better explanation and assurance that Oregon elections are secure.
Now, there are a lot of elections, local small elections, school board election, county commissioner elections, ballot measures that are decided by less than 10 votes. I myself lost re-election for a school board position in 2019 by 3 votes. Every vote matters. It just relieves a lot of public anxiety about our election process. So why not come in and answer those questions?
The state says that they have inactivated all of the voter registrations in question here, but Governor Tina Kotek has asked the DMV to take proactive steps to ensure that this does not happen in the future. Lawmakers are calling on Governor Kotek and the Secretary of State's office to audit all voter registrations.
New this morning, a 59-year-old bow hunter is safe after he fell and broke his leg last weekend in Tillamook State Forest. This happened on Saturday morning. The man was fortunate, though, to have a GPS device on him, so he was able to send out a distress signal, giving search and rescue volunteers his exact location. Those volunteers eventually found him and took him to safety.
Salem-Keizer Public Schools is launching a new campaign to boost attendance. It's called Attendance Matters, and it's meant to teach kids the importance and benefit of showing up to school every day. Salem-Keizer joins other districts in the state trying to combat chronic absenteeism, which are students who miss at least 10% of class. State data shows about 52% of students in Salem-Keizer schools are considered regular attendees. The district will roll out the campaign in the coming months.
Gas prices in the Portland area have actually dropped by 20 cents the past week, now averaging about $3.67 a gallon. That's according to Gas Buddy's latest numbers. The national average, by the way, is currently sitting at about $3.20 a gallon.
The city of Portland says it needs Multnomah County to finish inspections on a North Portland homeless shelter before it can issue the permit needed to open it. This comes now 3 months after the Arbor Lodge shelter held its grand opening. And neighbors we spoke to say they're frustrated about the delay.
Well, it seems like if they wanted to expedite this, and if it was really a priority for the city, they would expedite those kind of permits, or they would have planned that farther ahead and not had a grand opening and kind of done a head fake on everybody.
The shelter is located off North Denver Avenue and is meant to house up to 120 people. County officials say now they aim to open the shelter sometime in October.
All right, before we get back to Rod and his local forecast, we do have a couple of national weather headlines to share. And we're going to start with Tropical Storm John. John hit Mexico's Pacific coast after it grew into a hurricane in a matter of hours last night. It made landfall as a Category 3 hurricane, sending heavy rain and winds to that region. It later weakened back to a tropical storm.
Meanwhile, in Florida, residents are prepping for a potential hurricane. Forecasters believe it will become Hurricane Helene in the Gulf of Mexico by tomorrow. Governor Ron DeSantis declared a state of emergency for the northwest part of the state. Forecasters say that they expect Helene to make landfall by Thursday as a Category 2 or Category 3 storm. All right, 6:06, let's take a look at your weather here locally with Rod Hill.
Yeah, these storms, real quick, let's stick down in the Gulf and then I'll zip you back home. These storms can quickly strengthen in the warm, 80 to even sometimes 90-degree water temperatures down in the Gulf. But the track, as China mentioned, is expected to bring it up here on the Gulf side, up into the Florida Panhandle, perhaps somewhere around Thursday, and then the storm would bring rains moving pretty much due north up into Georgia and the Carolinas. So we'll keep an eye on that. Here at home, we're in the middle of nothingness. Nobody's reporting any fog. It's partly to mostly clear up top. Light winds, zero weather issues for you out the door. This is the warm bubble of air that will get us up to 90 today. On the back end of it is a front. These clouds, just like that, will quickly come in tomorrow, and they will bring some rain. Looks like much of tomorrow afternoon we'll have rain in the Portland area. It will be more rainy than not during those hours. Right now, again, no problems. Timberline mainly clear up top, and I wanted to show you the temperature at 6,000 feet. It is 63 degrees, so that gives you a clue that this is a warm batch of air that is in place. Pretty shot early this morning, looking at mostly clear skies off to the east from the top of the Wells Fargo Tower building. 64, only 1 degree difference between Timberline and Portland this morning. 57, though, out in Hillsboro. It's 60 in Happy Valley, 58 degrees in Oregon City this morning. Salem sitting at 60 and Albany is 62. So, the fact that we have a lot of 60s out there tells you that this is a batch of air that's just chomping at the bit to start warming. Forecast numbers at 5 o'clock today. 90 in Pendleton. We will see some low 90s between Bend and Madras for highs. The Dow's expected to make it to 90. And although at 5, this shows 89 Albany, Eugene, I do believe from Eugene up through Portland, all of these reporting sites will likely make it to 90. There are some forecast models that show Salem as toasty as 94 today, by the way. We'll go 90 in Portland, and then just like that, we may or may not make it to 70 tomorrow. If it's raining by the noon hour and then raining more than that through the afternoon, we'll probably not make it to 70. Thursday's dry. This is just an early morning shower threat on Friday. Otherwise, it quickly becomes a dry day. And your weekend still looks nice. Mostly sunny both days and about 75 degrees. That's your forecast.